Ibrahim Traore is a determined leader, resolutely navigating a world where influence and power often breed jealousy and dishonesty. Amidst a flurry of rumors and defamation circulating through political circles, a clash between deceit and truth emerges. Traore confronts these attacks with steadfast resolve, understanding that progress comes with its own set of challenges. He remains steadfast in this treacherous landscape, prepared to defend his reputation against any efforts to tarnish it. This tenacious leader is ready to face any obstacle and is undeterred by the barrage of falsehoods aimed at undermining him. In today's video, we will explore the world of Ibrahim Traore, a leader poised to confront his opponents head-on, armed with truth and an indomitable spirit. We will also review some media outlets that Traore has suspended due to their frequent dissemination of false information. Before we proceed, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on Burkina Faso and broader African developments. Recently, Burkina Faso suspended the French broadcaster TV5 for 6 months due to its spread of disinformation. The country's communications regulator, CSC, accused TV5 of disseminating harmful insinuations and false information about the transitional government and imposed a fine of 50 million CFA francs, approximately $82,000. France's actions appear aimed at inciting protests in Burkina Faso. The communication regulator criticized a media outlet for featuring Newton Ackman-Barry, who led the election commission from 2014 to 2021 and has been vocal against the military regime. Since Captain Ibrahim Traore's coup in September 2022, several foreign news organizations, particularly French ones, have faced temporary or permanent closures. In April, the military government suspended the BBC and Voice of America after they aired a Human Rights Watch report accusing the military of killing civilians. The same month, TV5 was also suspended for 2 weeks for similar reasons. Human Rights Watch reported that the army had killed over 223 individuals in areas suspected of collaboration with militants, including 56 minors. International media, including the Associated Press, widely covered these events. The suspension impacted the BBC's ability to deliver independent and accurate news, but the BBC has pledged to continue its reporting on the region without bias. Additionally, Burkina Faso's authorities have ordered internet service providers to block access to Voice of America, the BBC, and Human Rights Watch websites and digital platforms. While the authorities have previously closed French media outlets and expelled French newspaper correspondents, the suspension of TV5 represents a notable incident. As of September 25th of last year, the transitional government of Burkina Faso halted all distribution of media associated with the French news outlet Jeune Afrique. This decision followed a report from the same outlet suggesting growing discontent within Burkina Faso's military barracks. Additionally, in May, hundreds of Burkinabe citizens protested outside the U.S. Embassy in the capital, Ouagadougou, in response to Washington's stance on accusations made by Human Rights Watch regarding alleged killings. Both London and Washington had called on Ouagadougou to conduct a thorough investigation into these alleged massacres and to hold those accountable. During the protests, shopkeepers and private sector workers gathered in the afternoon, chanting anti-imperialist slogans and displaying Russian and Burkinabe flags. The embassy was secured by riot police. Protesters questioned the whereabouts of these human rights advocates when terrorists were allegedly attacking their communities. Mahamadou Adriago, spokesperson for the Liberation Federation of Pan-Africanists, which organized the demonstration, stated, "We have come to deliver a message to the Americans to cease these accusations against our armed forces, who are defending the nation at great personal risk." Some argue that journalists in Burkina Faso should not have to face government censorship on top of the challenges of reporting amid national insecurity. Sadibou Meron, director of the Reporters Without Borders Sub-Saharan Africa Bureau, commented in April that these media suspensions represent a significant setback for press freedom in the country. Are you curious about what his next statement will be? We are too. On the other hand, some support the media suspensions, believing that certain news outlets and TV stations have exceeded their reporting boundaries. Amid these developments, tensions in the country are escalating. The military regime has announced plans to extend its rule for an additional 5 years, as agreed upon during national consultations. Colonel Masadiello, head of the National Dialogue Organizing Committee, confirmed that the transition period will last 60 months starting from July 2. He also stated that after the transition concludes, coup leader and acting president Ibrahim Traore will be eligible to run in any future elections. Under the new charter, the practice of using quotas to allocate assembly seats to members of traditional parties will be abolished. Instead, patriotism will become the sole criterion for selecting deputies. The previous charter outlined a 21-month transition period to a civilian administration, with a deadline of July 1. However, Traore has frequently warned that holding elections may be difficult due to the current unstable security situation. It is argued by some news outlets and TV stations that misleading statements by newsmakers are considered newsworthy and thus should be published. This rationale is similar to social media platforms' defense of free speech, which they use to justify the presence of deceptive statements. Such arguments overlook how our minds operate. People often accept claims that reinforce their existing beliefs regardless of their accuracy. When encountering these assertions, they tend to amplify, remember, and disseminate them further. Simply adding a bit of fact-checking cannot compensate for careless reporting. There is no evidence to support the notion that news organizations' fact-checking significantly slows the spread of misinformation. When individuals who lack accurate information check their facts, they are rarely persuaded that their views are wrong. The most effective approach for news organizations to combat misinformation is to limit their contribution to the spread of news. The shift to social media as a primary news source has also facilitated the spread of false information. Anyone with a social media account can set up their own news outlet, and both individuals and organizations often aim to maximize their visibility. Social media trends are not always characterized by balanced and well-researched news. The virality of posts on popular platforms is often driven by outrage. False information is frequently distorted by being taken out of context, and the share button allows these misconceptions to spread rapidly through extensive networks. Ibrahim Traore is working to address this issue. It is evident that false information on social media can spread up to 10 times faster than accurate news. Corrections to sensational falsehoods rarely receive the same level of attention or credibility as the original misleading posts. Follow-up corrections lack the impact, memorability, and appeal of the initial sensational claims. In the competition between the engaging but false story and the factual but less exciting one, the captivating story tends to prevail. Social media content is curated for us by algorithms designed to maximize our time online. The longer you stay on the platform, the more personalized advertisements you will encounter, tailored to your preferences. This business model drives the major social media platforms. The algorithm determines what to show you next based on your past interactions, such as the types of content you've liked and shared, and the creators you are most engaged with, all with the goal of keeping you on the site for longer periods. As a result, you'll see more posts similar to those you engage with. However, the suspension of TV5 raises concerns about press freedom and information access in Burkina Faso. Upholding free speech and ensuring access to unbiased news is crucial, even if the administration justifies the suspension as a measure for national security. In an era where information is vital for shaping public opinion and holding power to account, it is essential for governments to foster an environment that supports free speech and the free flow of information. Burkina Faso's leaders could implement measures to ensure that TV stations in the country exercise greater responsibility and caution. The government should undertake a review and reform of media regulations to ensure they are equitable, transparent, and aligned with international standards. The Superior Council for Communication, responsible for overseeing media operations, should operate independently and provide advance notice of its decisions. All final rulings should be open to appeal before appropriate judicial authorities. Traore must ensure fair and equal treatment of all news outlets, irrespective of their origin, with regard to press freedom. It is crucial to avoid discriminatory actions against specific foreign media outlets, such as suspending French media networks. Burkina Faso must implement measures to protect media personnel from threats and acts of violence. There has been an increase in violence against journalists in recent years, whether perpetrated by government forces or armed groups. Leaders should condemn such actions and ensure that those responsible are held accountable. Media outlets should make every effort to verify their facts before disseminating critical information about the country. This approach could help bring some stability to the situation in Burkina Faso. Do you think other TV stations and news organizations will exercise more caution in light of these suspensions, or will they continue as before? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Enable notifications to stay updated on our latest content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.